So I'm here on my own at the moment. It's nice to be here. I still love the boat, which is good news, if you'll find. I'm just going to go outside now and start some work. My job is to remove the deck. This footage is taken back in November and I am actually still working on it now, but I've got a different attitude to my tentative steps back then, and I'm now making pretty good progress. I'll be dedicating a whole video to this soon, but the reason I'm mentioning it now is for two reasons. Firstly, to show that I am pulling my weight, but secondly, that I didn't have a clue what I was doing back then, and I still don't really. You can watch all the tutorials, make a clear plan, get lots of advice from people who've done it before, but the main thing I didn't have back then was the right mindset. I needed to get stuck in more. Watching tutorials is one thing, but until you start, you won't know how the tools feel to hold, how you need to move your body to use them, how easy or how hard it will be to, in this instance, remove the boards, and you won't know how what you see on YouTube translates to this particular project, this boat. You need to become connected to the job on a physical level and not just in your mind. Hugh has taught me this. He will just get stuck in, and he has informed me on many an occasion that he's only gained experience through trial and error and making mistakes. This is exactly what I see when I get given footage to edit. This keep trying until something works attitude used to really frustrate me. But new me has learned to embrace it and adopt it as my own, and it's actually really liberating. But that's all for another video. Here is Hugh, back on Esperance, back working on the tanks.
These bungs here, they came with Esperance. Find one that fits and stick it in the outlet for the black water there. Then I can absolutely fill it up with fresh water. I'm going to fill it as much as I can and then just see if it leaks. And I really, out of all the tanks, it's the one I most hope doesn't leak, because the last thing I want to do is take the lid off and have to start repairing the black water tank. Because, put it this way, if you don't know what a black water tank is, find out and then you'll know why I don't want to open it up.
So what is a black water tank? There are three types of tank on Esperance. Water tanks, which we have already dealt with. The grey water tank, which holds water from the showers and the taps. The final tank is the black water tank. This is the tank where all the poo and the wee goes until it can be emptied. As this is not a new boat, the black water tank is also not new, if you get my meaning. So Hugh was pretty nervous about checking this tank and hoped, above all hope, that this was a tank that didn't leak. Right, so none of those bungs fit. Anyway, I've had an idea that I think is even better. Stick with me. So I had a quick brainwave here. And the noise you can hear is me heating a bit of pipe. So just enough just to flex it so I can bend it. So this is a bit of pipe left over from the shower tray over there. And this is a better idea than the bung. I can attach it and have it higher than the level of the top of the tank, so I can fill up this, and if it's brimming on this pipe sticking over the top, then I know the tank is completely full, and I also know that it's not leaking. So this way I can test the very top joints of the tank more easily as well. See, always thinking me. It's heated up now. Oh, there we go. That proves it. Let's put the alarm off. Glad the fire alarm's working. It's very unlike Esperance.
Look at that, perfect. I couldn't do that a second ago.
Bit of heat does wonders. Right, where's that clip? There it is.
A bit old, but hopefully that'll do the job. Pop that on there. Get a screwdriver. So, by connecting this up now, I should have a place I can fill it from, but actually I'm going to fill it from the toilet instead, because then I can test the whole system. And I can just put the shower head into the toilet bowl, flush it all the way through, fill up the entire tank.
Looking out, I can fill it up all the way to here, and hopefully the water level will just stay exactly where it is, an inch below the top of that pipe. And that means there's a bit of water pressure against these fixing at the top. And hopefully the water will go nowhere. Hello again. So, just been filling it up. It didn't take too long actually, but I mean I was running it pretty hard from the top. You can see shower head's going to the toilet. I was pumping it through. I also stuck in first a whole bottle of bleach again just to completely flush out the tank. It's all going overboard into a bucket in the yard outside, and I can dispose of it properly, so there's no issues. I wouldn't be doing this at sea.
Anyway, you can see there's a bit of water leaking now. So it's absolutely sodden. I mean, that's just soaking wet plies. That's no use to anyone, and it's all leaking. I mean, that's all solid from these fittings, which are leaks, but the fittings will be compressed onto the ply and then going through into the tank. So I suspect the rest of the tank's in pretty good nick apart from this edge here. So I'm not quite sure. I mean, that all needs rebuilding, so I think it is definitely going to be a case of taking the lid off the black water tank and completely cleaning it out and rebuilding it, unfortunately. But it's something I think we need on board, because we are going to be in places where they don't want us to dump our poo into the sea. So, moment of truth now. I've got all the fittings off and go over at the black water tank. I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not like super excited about this job. I've got this side up. I have cleaned it out twice now, flushed it all the way through with fresh, soapy, bleachy water. So hopefully it's not going to be quite as gross as it could be, but it doesn't move across to rubber gloves territory. Because, you know, dysentery sucks. I do know that we've never used it, and I do know the previous owners never used it. They had the boat for like years, decade maybe, yeah, more than a decade. So, hopefully. Oh, actually that's not too bad. I was a bit like, this is going to be gross, but it is literally just, yeah, I mean you can see where there's been like calcium deposits from weed, but there's nothing solid, there's nothing black or brown or any of that colour. I'll show you, because I know you guys are like fascinated by poo. It is one of the topics like on boats. Any boat owner will tell you, if you want to get to know your fellow boaters, you do end up talking about poo, particularly on the inland waterways, because it's more of an issue there, because you have to manage your toilets. You know, are you pump out, are you cassette, are you composting? Ooh. I have completely taken the cover off this black water tank. There's another half of it there, but it soon became clear the two halves were connected. There's a hole inside it, you can probably just about see it in the bottom corner. I completely cleaned it out, there's a bit of moisture left. So this looks pretty solid, looks really good condition. It's clean, relatively clean inside anyway, and it is clean now. But it's all GRP, it's all well built, and I think with that new top back on, resealed properly, I think it should be tight. The issue is the GRP is left between the what's called the floor, which is this bulkhead running left to right there, which the pipes are going through, and the fittings there have actually leaked themselves, which has made the timber and the plywood there completely sodden and now rotten, so that needs completely cutting out and replacing and rebonding with some new stuff. So I've just had Aaron on board this morning. He was planned today to come and do some work on the forward tanks. I can tell already he really knows his stuff. He seems fantastic. He's from Small Boat Services. I can already recommend him, and he hasn't even done the work yet. I'm feeling positive, mainly just chatting to people who know what they're talking about. It's just really helpful, gives you confidence in what you're doing, and yep, he seems like a really top bloke, Aaron. It's just like, yep, you've got a job in your hands, but to do this, check off a thing at a time, let's get this sorted, and hopefully, yeah, within a week or so from now, this water tank issue will be behind us, which will be great.
Not only that, but just being down there in Hayling Island, in the yard, you get to meet so many fantastic people, all striving for the same dream. And all of a sudden, you don't seem so crazy after all. You can get chatting to someone about your plan and have it echoed back with very similar plans and aspirations of their own. Surrounding yourself with like-minded people is really uplifting. I just met a guy down there who's just bought a boat, but he tells me he's never set foot on a boat in his life and he doesn't know how to sail, but he just came to the conclusion that life is too short. He's a farmer by trade and he intends to sell his farm and take him and his wife and his daughter off on the adventure of a lifetime. He says, "Everyone thinks I'm mad." Not me, I said. "I think what you're doing is fantastic." It made me think that when I was younger, if you didn't have any experience or knowledge, then you were kind of looked down on. How dare you even contemplate giving something a go without prior knowledge? But people are becoming a lot more brave and adventurous, and I love that. There's no such thing as a silly idea in my mind. If you're brave enough to give it a go, then I have massive respect for you. What's the worst that can happen? You fail. So what? Just try something else. To me, fear of failure is not a good enough reason not to try. Failure to me is just a series of lessons, all part of the adventure. And with any adventure,
You don't know where it's going to take you, and that is the most exciting part. And also, another good tip is just to be able to laugh at yourself when you realise you've made some kind of stupid mistake.
So I've been living on board during the week for about a month now, and also doing the work on the boat, but also just having to do simple things like, you know, live, like make dinners and meals. So all this time, this is the work surface I've been using, just here. And you see, my hand's bigger than it. There's been a lot of balancing stuff on there and trying to cut. And I've discovered two things just now that would have been really useful. So I've just started taking apart the kitchen. And in doing so, I've discovered this. Like a really handy work surface that was there that whole time for the last month that I could have used it. I'm about to take it apart now. But there you go. And I also discovered they had a chopping board on board, which would have been much better. That would have been useful too. So there you go.